kind of thing working. Jack was, will take the shortest route to anything.
Absolutely.
Well, least amount of energy expended at all
Yeah,
times.
that's exactly it.
Now that's pure Johnny.
The eunuch line.
There's a lot of those in there. They're great. Those, all that stuff you added, I think, is really, and it's still in the movie.
I know. I was really pleased.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, it's like you have to pervert this genre, at every opportune moment.
Yeah, one must be a pirate.
Yes. Angling? Yeah, it took quite a long time to shoot this.
What was that sequence? Like 5 days or a week?
Yeah, I think we did 4 or 5, and then we came back and did the stuff on the rafters.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
After we came back from the Caribbean,
yeah,
we did the stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Finally, I think one day you said to me, "You're just gonna use this, right?"
Yeah.
I don't need if I really need to go bash, bash, bush, 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 bash, bash, can I just go bash, bash? And
that was especially in with Jeffrey, because that routine I didn't know as well as I knew this one.
It is true that you can. I mean, if you look at stunt team that are just aren't sort of learning lines and doing the whole movie, and they've got that routine really well down. So you can kind of pop out into these great wide shots and then come in and it's about the performance. It's about kind of finishing up something and a reaction, a great moment, or a bit of dialogue, or a quip, or that is the most important thing. That's what they do. I mean,
amazing in terms of that. Just saying, it has to be coming from the character. Captain Jack wouldn't have the perfect stance.
Oh, Tony! I just remember the whole entire movie. Tony would look at you and kind of like, what is? It's so funny to see him try to do it. He couldn't quite get it, but he just totally tried. It was beautiful.
He did well, Tony. Really did.
Yeah, boy.
And it's a pin drop. The dog.
Because they don't get the dog.
The dog. Forget
the
it.
dog reference. The ride. Yeah.
All the ride references. And it's so funny to have the Brits over here going, what are people laughing at? It's like even in the background there's some little moment. And you got, in Anaheim they're going crazy. In Munich they're sort of.
This moment is huge in Anaheim.
That's a smart bold.
That I didn't know it because I was so freaked out watching it for the first time at the premiere. But every day when V did my makeup, a little open syphilis kind of this weird little open wound on my.
I love that
jawline and I guess you notice it here and there. Stuff. I don't know where or how or when you shot this, but I love this stuff right here.
That's it's a Duskernite plate and a barge to create the wake and fabricate it.
Wonderful, man. Really, really great.
Really bleak.
I suppose, he just cracks me up. I don't know. I'm probably the only person laughing, but everything he does.
No, he
just completely.
I had difficulty, especially shooting the end, keeping a straight face. When I breathed at him, his reaction was too good.
And these guys were great, man.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's casting. These chairs. And we brought in the kind of dregs of LA. I mean, bikers and out-of-work actors. People who wanted to be in movies.
Like me. The dregs of LA.
And I just went to this kind of basement at Disney and then, gave them first we started with real weapons and then we quickly switched to rubber because they were actually hurting each other. And they would, would say, okay, you're looking for gold. And they'd all scream and knock over chairs and would just yell something, captain's on deck, and they'd all stand at attention. And out of 600, we picked 10 guys that stayed with us the entire show. And guys changing, for in the Caribbean or in LA or whatever.
They're unbelievable though, man. They really, as you said, they really lived it.
They brought some, it's so, you can't buy that stuff, they have to want it, and the whole gang was just fantastic. The Ehrenberg and Mackenzie Crook. The first thing in the movie is Orlando.
I never noticed that, Never crossed my mind. Shoes.
Yeah.
takes first. I mean, having, not being involved in this stuff, once again, it was like seeing it for the first time. Shocking to me, because the film never felt that large to me,
Oh, it's just every day, Martin would make some coffee, we're living in the little down in the Caribbean. He'd make some coffee, we'd go to work, and we should stuff up, or, quite a few dialogue, longer dialogue scenes. Everything's good, so, that was, you could feel like you'd shut back down and kind of actually be telling a story and not get into that place. I think for a 105-day shoot, there are like 60-day shoots where you're just dying to get off the movie. You're like, please end it. The last 10 days. And I think, really, 105 days, we didn't really go bad until each 105th day. It was actually pretty good spirits all the way up until.
But no, because it was really I had a ball shooting that scene.
Good fun. Kind of classic stuff, but basically the feeling of the ride, I think.
Yeah.
That post in half, that's the. I think it was the first one of our kind of long experience with the effects crew.
Oh God!
It was they blew it up, and then the cannonball's supposed to go through the post. She's great here this time. And it didn't blow. It was like a duh. It's like, well, can't we do better than that? And of course, it's the joke was, now they're going to do, it's going to be way over the top because these guys have done 20 movies, all the crew and the cameramen watch. So we said, how much, have you added more primer cord? What have you done? We got 3 times as much primer cord. Primer cord is, depending on how you lace it, it can be 10 times more powerful, 50 times more powerful, depending on how you wrap it. So all I remember is, and action, and then being 4 feet further back, with a piece of board hitting my forehead. It was just this white flash. You were physically moved across the room. It was installing.
Yeah, I was pretty confident that day on the beach when the barrel shot up into the sky.
At that point, though, it was surreal. At that point,
Your
kind
face.
of the go wrong factor. I just looked at you like I can't even start to say, anything. Okay, we're gonna fix it. I was just like, oh boy. Yeah, there's no place to hide.
There's our boy Trevor.
Yeah, this is ironic. Say goodbye. Trevor passed away in the post-production of the movie.
He's missed.
Great guy, really missed him. Fantastic. Poor bastard had to have the beard lit every take,
I know.
Just inhaling incense particles and dingle dangles from his beard.
We used to
Light
tease
the
him.
beard.
It changes flavor,
Exactly.
Good enough, chop him down, He was really fed up, but he handled it like a champ.
You just get ready to shoot and then just come out. Light the beard.
It's you and old champ.
Talk a little bit about that. The Prince of Darkness.
Darius?
Darius.
Brilliant. Absolute genius, man. In my book.
Yeah, he's
The
really.
guy can do no wrong.
He's just he's a tweaker,
No.
He just 27, 30 setups a day, and he's just.
I think Darius is a. Just couldn't believe it when we first started shooting that he was so laid back and just put the things there and you'd say, well, you want me to hit? No, don't worry about it, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's the confidence level.
No, he's a painter, and he knows. It works like start with a black frame and then put light where you need it, as opposed to
It's the Caravaggio way.
Yeah, exactly. So lighting everything, and then all you have to do is start taking lights off, turning lights off. And he and Martin have a great relationship too. That's really rare. The kind of operator, cinematographer relationship where they trust each other. Right? Because I always go hey, Mark, I'm about to say we're getting a bad kick on the wine glass or something, and his hand is moving it, or an actor's leaning out of an over, and he'll just grab, their hip or whatever, and gently apply a little pressure to bring them back in the shot. And